I knew I had brought together all the elements of my system, for I was put to a severe test in 1939, and I met the test successfully. I realized then, as I realize now, that to succeed in life you need to seek more than a definite major objective, with singleness of purpose. To succeed, you must first seek the essence of many things. And these are the finer things of life. Now, the essence of anything is abstract. It is never found. It is never reached. Yet, if you search for the essence of perfection, you become more perfect. Search for the essence of success, and you become more successful. Search for the essence of achievement, and you achieve more. But in searching for the essence of anything, you also strive for specific major objectives with singleness of purpose. And thus, with each successful step forward, you get closer and closer to the essence of that which you seek. And when you seek tangible riches and success as you search for the true riches of life, you will find them if this be your desire. The essence of success in any man's life depends on his living philosophy. The essence of a living philosophy is that it must be alive. To be alive, it must be lived. To be lived, you must act. Actions, not mere words, determine the validity of a man's living philosophy. For faith without works is dead. Whether he recognizes it or not, everyone has a philosophy. You become what you think. My living philosophy is this. First, God is always a good God. Second, truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. Third, man is a product of his heredity, environment, physical body, conscious and subconscious mind, experience, and particular position and direction in time and space, and something more, including powers known and unknown. He has the power to affect, use, control, or harmonize with all of them. Fourth, man was created in the image of God, and he has the God-given ability to direct his thoughts, control his emotions, and ordain his destiny. Fifth, Christianity is a dynamic, living, growing experience. Its universal principles are simple and enduring. For example, the golden rule, do unto others as you would have others do unto you, is simple in its concepts and enduring and universal in its application. But it must be applied to become alive. Six, I believe in prayer and the miraculous power of prayer. Now, what does this philosophy mean to me? It wouldn't mean a thing unless I lived it. To live it, I must apply it. Therefore, I shall give you an illustration of how I applied it in a time of need. Then, it may be more meaningful to you. In 1939, I owned an insurance agency that represented a large Eastern accident and health insurance company. Over 1,000 full-time licensed agents were operating under my supervision in every state in the United States. My contract was verbal, and it provided for exclusive distribution of a specified series of accident policies. Under this working agreement, I owned the business. The company printed the policies and paid the claims, and I assumed all other expense. It was spring. My family and I were vacationing in Florida when I received a letter from one of the top executive officers of the company. It stated briefly that my services would be terminated at the end of 2 weeks. My license to represent the company and the licenses of all my representatives would be canceled on that date. No policies could be sold or renewed after that date. And the president of the company was leaving on a trip and couldn't be reached for 2 months. I was faced with a serious problem. The type of contract I had just wasn't being made anymore. Making a new connection for a national operation such as mine within 2 weeks was an improbability. And the families of the 1,000 representatives who worked for me would also have a problem if I didn't find a solution. Now, what do you do when you have a serious personal problem? A physical, mental, moral, spiritual, family, social, or business problem? What do you do when the walls begin to cave in? What do you do when there's no place to turn? That's the time to test your faith. For faith is mere daydreaming unless applied. True faith is applied continuously, but it is tested at the time of your greatest need. Now, what would you have done if you had been faced with my problem? Here's what I did. I told no one, but cloistered myself in my bedroom for 45 minutes. I reasoned. God is always a good God. Right is right. And with every disadvantage, there's a greater advantage, if one seeks and finds it. Then I knelt down and thanked God for my blessings. A healthy body, a healthy mind, a wonderful wife, and 3 wonderful children. The privilege of living in this great land of freedom, this land of unlimited opportunity, and the joy of being alive. I prayed for guidance. I prayed for help. And I believed that I would receive them. And I got into positive mental action. On arising, I began to think. And I made 4 resolutions. 1, I wouldn't be fired. 2, I would organize my own accident and health company, and by 1956 would have the largest in the United States. 3, I would reach another specific objective by 1956. This was of such magnitude and so personal that it would be improper to mention it here. 4, I would contact the president of the company, regardless of what part of the world he might be in. Then I got into physical action. I left the house and drove to the nearest public telephone booth to try to talk to the company president, for I didn't want my family to know the emergency with which I was faced. I succeeded because I tried. The president was a kindly, understanding man of principle. He gave me permission to continue operations upon my agreement to withdraw from the state of Texas, where the general agents of the company were having some competitive difficulties with my representatives. We were to meet at the home office in 90 days. We did meet in 90 days. I'm still licensed for that company, and I continue to give it business.